Every time I think it can't get worse for Worldcon and the Hugo Awards, it just seems to be amplifying even more. Finally, culture has caught on to the fact that these people, these SJWs, have been complete hypocrites the entire time. They stand for nothing unless it doesn't bother their own personal gain. When it comes down to the fact that they can make a stand on something that actually matters, they'll never do it if it will impact them. And this is the topic of today's video for our Hugo Award controversy that's ongoing. Hi, my name is John Delarose. I am the leading Hispanic voice in science fiction, #1 best-selling author, and award-winning author. And you can get my books on Amazon, on my shop. You can support my Patreon. I love everybody who reads the books. This is the book that should have won the Hugo Award, though I would have declined it. And of course, made a stand against both the Chinese Worldcon in 2023 and the atrocities going on there, and the defense contractor Raytheon, because I don't believe in bombing little children in the Middle East, unlike the people at Worldcon. All right, this link is in the description below. Thank you very much for the support. So let's get to the topic of today's video. SFF World, gosh, they just can't say sci-fi anymore. Rocked by news that military contractor Raytheon was the Discon/Hugo Awards sponsor. Absolutely hilarious. They had Worldcon in Washington, D.C. this year, and of course a weapons manufacturer then sponsored these SJWs and their award while they're going off pretending they care about minorities, making panels about the decolonization of Africa and the Middle East, and what it would have been like without white people there. Well, of course, this is all paid for by white people who bomb such countries. It highlights the complete hypocrisy of the SJWs. They don't care about anything that impacts them. They just want to thumb their noses at you and lecture you for your own life, like you've done something wrong when you're just sitting there trying to mind your own business and enjoy entertainment. This is why we can't have fun conventions anymore. Conventions like Worldcon can't be about books and just enjoying yourself, because these people are so miserable, so mentally ill, they'll have to sit there and just shriek about white people all day long while taking money from companies like this. Naturally, there's been a lot of blowback. Twitter's been on fire. Ilhan Omar, the congresswoman from Minnesota, her communications director blew this up and made a huge point about how crazy this was that Worldcon did this. And Worldcon was silent on it for multiple days. They refused to acknowledge that there was any problem going on with their convention. Mary Robinette Kowal was silent on this, even though she ran the convention, the former head of SIFWA. And they just wanted to let it be swept under the rug, take their money and run, and this is what the SJWs do every single time. It's all about their own little petty careers because they know they can't write books that are as good as Heinlein, that are as good as Arthur C. Clarke or Isaac Asimov or Paul Anderson or any of those from back in the 60s and 70s, and they know they can't write as good of books as me. That's the other fun part. But here's what's happened. Here's their response to this. They finally said something about this, this is the only statement that Worldcon's really made, is we accept feedback and criticism regarding the acceptance of sponsor funds. Send suggestions, complaints to this email, which will get completely ignored and is in an inbox that nobody checks. We will share those with the next Worldcon committee as part of our debriefing as we discuss funding strategies. Well, nobody actually wants to fund Worldcon because they've shot themselves in the foot with this SJW woke crap for year after year. They've made it so that their Hugo Award only gets won and only gets nominated with Tor authors. So it's completely this one company's little arm and PR strategy. And of course, now their PR is blown. Tor supports this. Worldcon supports this, the Hugos support this, and SIFWA supports this. They support bombing children in the Middle East, and they're not willing to actually take a stand against it. So what's happened is, of course, people were asking the Hugo Award winners to rescind their award, to turn it down, to make a statement about this sort of thing. And of course, since the Hugo Award winners only care about their own little award on their shelf, they'll never do anything in regard to that. So when people have legitimate criticism and legitimate concerns about a serious topic, What do SJWs do? They call it harassment. Whenever you mention anything they don't like, it's harassment. Whenever you have real criticism, it's harassment. This is how they operate. They just use these words. They try to make it about them being a victim, when really they are the ones who are responsible for victimizing other people. So here's what they say.
Harassment is not acceptable. Responses should be directed to Discon 3 and not the finalists or winners who are uninvolved in our decisions.
They chose to accept it. They chose to walk that red carpet, which was paved with the red blood of Arab children. That is their responsibility. They did this. They're adults. They should be held culpable for this. If they're going to be a party to this, if they're going to cheer this on, if they're going to ask you to cheer this on, you absolutely should be directing your criticism towards them. And then they need to make a statement on this. I want to see what they think. I want to see whether they're willing to turn back their Hugo Awards because of this. Otherwise, everything they say about their
inclusivity and diversity and minority voices and persons of color
is complete bullshit. And that's the truth. And we know it's complete bullshit now. They're not going to get away with it. I'm going to keep beating this drum until somebody actually does something. And that's why they hate me, honestly. I'm a whistleblower. I've been whistleblowing against their nonsense for, 4 or 5 years now. And they tried to destroy my entire life because of that. And they failed. They spent a ton of money doing so. And this is what happens. Every single time, these people are hypocrites. Every single time, these people don't actually care about the real atrocities being committed. Whew. And that's it. That's the story of the day. All right. What do you think about this? Can you believe that Worldcon is accepting sponsorships from companies like this? That they're going into communist China in 2023, where they have slave labor camps after all their whining about Trump and about how horrible the United States is, and children in cages? I can believe it. They're just a bunch of shills at the end of the day. Leave a comment down below, hit that like and subscribe button, and we'll be back soon.